Today I will talk about Bhopal gas tragedy. So first of all, we will have to be know that in what place, yeah, in which paper we can use this disaster. So this can be the part of GS paper 4 in ethics dilemma and in the form of how can you talk about justice delay is the justice denied. You can encounter such kinds of the question in the GS paper 4 and referring to ethics, integrity and aptitude. In essay paper, very easily you can talk about this and also other paper like the GS paper 3, if you encounter science and the take part, you can talk about this case and also for the interview. So the myself Ahmad and I welcome to all of you on the channel UPSC Knowledge Network. So So that Bhopal gas tragedy was world's worst industrial disaster. This disaster was so big that we are not still sure about death toll. Initially 3,788 deaths and in 1991 2,928 deaths had been officially certified, and whereas other estimate claims that 8,000 people died within 2 weeks. The government of the Madhya Pradesh confirmed a total death of 3,787. So that Bhopal gas tragedy is still denied of the justice. Therefore, they have requested very deep and profound manner in their five requests, which is known as the Panch Guhar. So, the Panch Guhar is the Hindi term which associated with the found request, not a simple request. It is a deep-rooted request. Panch Guhar is a campaign to draw the attention of the Prime Minister and the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister to the five most urgent issues of rehabilitation, justice, and the compensation. The demand include medical care, social and economic rehabilitation, adequate compensation, punishment of the culprits, and the clean of lingering poisons in the soil and the groundwater. What is the meaning of the lingering poisons? Lingering poisons means that poisonous gas that was leaked in 1984, that the poisonous gas is still present in the soil and the groundwater of the Bhopal. Sorrowfully, this accident happened 35 years ago, but still the people are struggling with the issues of the justice, adequate compensation. So we can get the question that Panch Guhar, as it is in prelims like that, the Panch Guhar is associated with the which tragedy. So you have just need to remember that the Bhopal gas tragedy is associated with the Panchguhar is associated with the Bhopal gas tragedy. So, the campaign Panchguhar will focus on the issues of the rehabilitation, justice, and adequate compensation on the December 2nd and the 3rd of 1984. So, the 40 tons of the methyl isocyanate gas leaked from the Union Carbide chemical plant resulted in the death of thousands. Many were mutilated and many are still suffering. This was the poisonous night. People were sleeping and gradually gas leaked from the plant on the night of the December 2nd, the 3rd in 1984. 40 tons of the methyl isocyanate leaked from the Union Carbide Indian Limited plant. Even as the residents slept on in oblivion. And this disaster was completely preventable. And it happened because of the company and even our government didn't much care about the people of the Bhopal. So to make the pesticides, there are a lot of poisonous chemicals are used. और जो भी company pesticides को बनाती है, that company is the responsible for the security and emergency measures. But it was missing in the case. In this case, there were so many lapses on the each level that will be shocked you. So first of all, let's know about the UCIL. The UCIL factory was built in 1969 to produce pesticide. एंड कार्बाइल नामक पेस्टिसाइड्स को बनाया जाता था। इस कार्बाइल को बनाने के लिए मिथाइल आइसोसाइनाइट गैस को एज ए मेडिएटर यूज किया जाता था। मिथाइल अमाइन के अंदर फॉजिन गैस को अगर मिला दिया जाए तो ये मिथाइल आइसोसाइनाइट बनती है। द फॉर्मूला ऑफ द मिथाइल आइसोसाइनाइट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, सो आई थिंक यू विल हैव टू बी रिमेंबर, and the others names the IUPAC name of the methyl isocyanate is also essential, and the others name that methyl carbyl amine, and MIC means the methyl isocyanate. So I think it is also very important to remember. So the methyl isocyanate becomes poisonous after mixing with the water and the sulfur. In the case of the Bhopal, when the water reacted with the water liquid methyl isocyanate of the E610 tank of the factory resulted in a very dangerous reaction. Gas was leaked into the environment. So, as I told that there were so many batches on the each level that will be shocked you. So, let's know the sum of them. In January 1982, the phosgene gas leak and exposed 24 workers. जनवरी 1982 में फोजिन गैस लीक होता है और जिसके चपेट में 24 वर्कर आ जाते हैं। फिर नेक्स्ट ही मंथ इन फरवरी 1982 मिथाइल आइसोसाइनाइड गैस लीक होता है जिसकी चपेट में 18 वर्कर आ जाते हैं। इन अगस्त 1982 केमिकल इंजीनियर came into contact with the liquid methyl isocyanate resulted in burns over 30% of the body. So that's why it is the alleged that despite warnings and even leaks, the company ignored the safety measures and threatening the lives of the millions of people. So, what do you expect after such a huge accident that our government and the courts will punish the culprit? But what happened? Warren Ederson, the CEO of the company at the time of the leak, was in India. When this tragedy happened, he was initially arrested but was granted bail. He fled from the country and our government could never get him back. After 25 years, in 2007, former senior employees of Union Carbide were convicted charge of death by negligence. They got just 2 years of the sentence and they release on bail. So you can be imagining that what was the reality behind of this accident. So let's know the some causes of the Bhopal gas tragedy. That what was the causes of that? So the causes was that not proper maintenance of the pipes. 50% of storage was not free. That should be. This factory was under investment. Not proper cooling system. Cooling system was removed from the factory in 1982 to reduce expenditure. Very old pipe that should be the replaced. Leakage extended because of the old pipes. Methyl isocyanate should be kept at 4 degrees Celsius. Rather, methyl isocyanate was at the 20 degrees Celsius. Can you imagine? Because why? Because the cooling system removed from the factory in 1982. The company was not making enough money, and in order to save money, the company reduced its expenditure on the safety equipment. So, still the questions on the government comes from 1984 till today. What we are doing, we are talking about sustainable development goals. We have improved our ease of doing business, and we are also talking many other things associated, but we are not seeing people's pain that happened 35 years ago. We are not trying to give them justice. So it is also other critical question on the system that well the high levels of the exposure cause the death that occur and the thousands of the people have lost their lives. and the millions of the people are paying the price of this criminal negligence, and even their generations are paying for it. You might be shocked to know that our government has yet not cleared the site of the hazardous chemicals. Even now, the hundreds of the tons of the poisonous chemicals are lying around the site and contaminating the air and the water of the Bhopal. Bhopal's water is still contaminating. Even now, the children in the Bhopal are being born with the physical and the mental deformities and the twisted limbs. Toxic are present among the survivors of the Bhopal. So the survivors are not healthy. They are in a problematic situation. They are facing trouble on the medical ground, their lungs, eyes, reproduction, and whatnot. So we can say that they are the complete body poisoned, and even their nervous system. And when the nervous system will not work properly, even the muscles will not work properly, and when there will not be good movement of the muscle, there will not be any good movement of the body. So what it is a simple showing that they are facing problem not only on this ground, but they are also facing certain cognitive problems. And these cognitive problems associated with the brain and neuron. They are more prominent in the kids of those survivors in the progeny. And so, victims, survivors, and their descendants have not only endured the repercussion of a harmful gas only at that time, but also have fallen prey to the sad treatment of the system. It is repelling them from the both side, and one side there is a problem that happened, that was the mad man disaster, failure of the safety valves, and other hand they delayed and denied of the justice. Therefore it is said that the justice delay is the justice denied. It is 35 years, still the people are suffering. People are not free from problems. Still the people are facing and the breathing suffocation that was the cause of night of December 2nd and the 3rd 1984. They are not breathing happily. They are not breathing in a clean environment. Therefore, it is the high time to free them from their suffocation. That's why the government should come ahead, and now there should be no contamination. Especially plants should be planted so that they can be adequate removal of the contamination in the river, in any lake that has also been poisoned by that gas, and the soil system. And all those people should be rehabilitated from that place to some other place, so that that place should also be free from the contamination, and assure them that this will never ever happen again. And thanks for watching.